I can share maybe what I experienced in the last Shaktipat, and it was,
please do.
Yeah, maybe I understand better Susanna experience now. I don't know, but certainly my root chakra open, and whole day I have this stream of energy through my spine and actually above. But now it opened and it was intense in a way that it had special flavor in it, that warm, sexual, I don't know. And it started rising. So it went to my heart, and I felt it very strong in my shoulders. And I felt like moving, and actually now I feel it. And then but it stopped here. And I somehow opened, and it went further, but a bit different flavor into center of my head. And I'm all warm now, physically warm, and yeah, it's a very lively feeling in my body.
Sounds good.
Was that, Jan, was that the full Kundalini awakening?
No.
Why not? Sounds like...
No, it indicates that Kundalini is awakened. So in that sense, you can say full, but I use the word full Kundalini when the snake leaves the resting place just above the perineum and penetrates into the spine, into the central channel, the Brahmanadi, and crawls up as a snake. It's very physical. That is a full Kundalini awakening.
But what did move force around him? He also says something was moving up.
It's Kundalini Shakti, an emanation of this Kundalini snake, which is concentrated energy. And some of that radiates into the spine because Kundalini, we lack words for the two different forms, but Kundalini is awakened, and that name awakened is reasonable because otherwise we talk about a sleeping Kundalini, which is the typical norm for ordinaries, normies. Their Kundalini is sleeping. But it's actually not comatose or sleeping in that sense. It emanates prana, vital energy, to the whole body, and it upholds all the functions and whatnot of the body and the mind. And when you awaken it, it becomes aware of your system and your impurities, and it begins spontaneously and automatically purifying this dirt, as we just called it, which is blockages in the central nervous system or in the heart or other places in the body. Or the perineum, the root chakra, you can feel it like a needle piercing it, which is quite unpleasant, but afterwards it flows better, so it's necessary. And you can also have this sting in the heart, in the throat, in the third eye. It can happen in any chakra. And what was my point? What was your question?
The full Kundalini awakening.
Yeah, then it's awakened in the sense that it's no longer slumbering and just sending out prana. It has actually, consciously, it seems, begun transforming your structure of ignorance to a different structure that can uphold higher and higher states of bliss and Shakti integration. And then there's what is really the full awakening, is when a snake that's about this long, 10 centimeters, as thick as a pencil and silver in color and radiant, dives into the spine just above the sacral bone, in the disc area there, between the sacral bone and the lowest vertebra. It enters there and goes straight up. And in my case, it went all the way up and rested in the heart. But it was so blissful and so luminous, I imagined this was merging with Shiva. So I've deluded myself many times in my sadhana. This was one big delusion. Until a couple of years ago, it crept out of the heart and up and rested in the throat. Then I realized, okay, that was not it. You see the difference? 3 different modes of operation. Yeah. Kundalini operates in 3 different modes. One is the dormant mode, where it just upholds your existence and supports your thoughts and feelings and so on, and heartbeat and whatnot. And that is the dormant Kundalini. Then there's a Kundalini arousal, where the Kundalini has not become conscious of your structure and what needs to be done, when, or where. It's just an arousal of a lot of Kundalini Shakti into your system. And that can be pleasant or unpleasant, because it's just like an energy wandering around, without any plan or purpose. And people who experience that wrongly call it a Kundalini awakening, or they say they have a Kundalini as if it's some sort of disease. And then they get afraid and they try to suppress it, and that's the worst you can do. You should embrace it and go with the flow. You've heard people talk about that kind of Kundalini.
Stress response.
And then there's the Kundalini awakening, not the snake awakening, but the becoming conscious of the process to lead you to enlightenment, which is what we also call grace, divine grace. And that's the 3rd way of operating, Kundalini awakening. And the snake that rises, first of all, is very rare. And secondly, it's still within the awakenedness, which is not a good word, but that it has a plan for your unfoldment. It's just a higher dimension of the awakening, so to speak.